This is Lansdowne, the voice of the fans, and tonight we are live and we're going to take a look at possible new recruits for Heimir Hallgrímsson. I'll butcher that name. Also, we're going to take a look at the current recruits over in IBIG. Shut up, Conor. It's Lansdowne Roar. Where's the button? And I forgot the intro. Oh, Christ.
What is happening,
anyway,
man?
I don't know. I've got music and shit going off and all that. Well, hello and welcome to Lansdowne Roar. I forgot to upload the intro. So you put me off my game. That's what it is, Conor. Anyway, hello and welcome
It's no
to
no
what?
Martin, no party.
No Martin, no party. No Martin. Where's Martin? He's in Centre Park somewhere. Hello, welcome to another edition of an introless edition of Lansdowne Roar. Dave Dunn here, joined by Conor McAvoy, and you're very welcome to your usual Sunday night helping. Although you normally get a bit of an intro. I do apologise there, folks. Bit of a scramble here tonight. As per usual, we are live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can see there, just type in at Lansdowne Road in YouTube, or you can go into the you can head over to Facebook, our Instagram, and our Twitter account. And also, if you haven't done it already, you can head over to Conor at Rep Tracker, or on Twitter, that is at Rep Tracker. If you want to find out what's going on with the current boys and girls in green. Christ. Well, we've already followed the first hurdle. How are you, Conor? Great
I'm
result
good.
for you today, wasn't it?
Who's playing? There was no games on today. I only seen the Liverpool match, but that was it. Didn't know anyone else playing today.
Yeah, don't blame you. Don't blame you. No, it was a good weekend. Merry Christmas to you guys, by the way, to our lovely Roar faithful who are watching. Oh God, there's already comments coming in. By the way, we are Irish Football's most interactive podcast, so do leave a comment and get involved. Anything that we're talking about, have a comment, ask us a question. Even if we're not talking about it and something you want to talk about within reason, give us a shout. We are here for you. We're going to be live probably for the next hour and a bit. So get those comments coming in and yeah, get involved. Of course, we're going to be talking tonight about the few potential granny rulers, so to speak, that Heimir Hallgrímsson may be talking to or has already spoken to, and we've got a little list of those. But first of all, we're going to get into some IBIG, the current players that he has to choose from. Are you ready for this, Conor?
I hope so.
I fucking hope so too. Right, let's go to the goalkeepers. Quaving Keller, yep, he's back on the bench, an unused sub in Liverpool's 6-3 win. Mark Travers, an unused sub as well for Bournemouth in their game today. Max O'Leary, 90 minutes in a 2-0 loss against West Brom for Bristol City. And Josh Keeley, 90 minutes in a 4-0 win over Barnsley. And of course, Gavin Bazunu still out injured. Let's move it on to the defenders. Seamus Coleman played 17 minutes in a 0-0 draw with Chelsea. Good on you, Everton. Dara Shea, 90 minutes in a 4-0 loss against Newcastle Ipswich Town. A serious trouble there. Nathan Collins, 90 minutes in a 2-0 loss against Nottingham Forest, who were in third or fourth, I believe. Liam Scales, 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw with Dundee United for Celtic. Shane Duffy, 80 minutes in a 2-1 loss against Sunderland for Norwich. Mark McGuinness, 90 minutes in a 2-1 win over Derby County for Luton Town. Colin Dowda, out injured Martin. No wonder he's not on. Heartbroken, devastated. Matt Doherty got an assist on goal last week, an assist this week in a 3-0 win over Leicester City. Jacob Prine, you guessed it. Lone Town for him, hopefully in January. Ryan Manning, he's back on the bench for Southampton and unused sub today. Andrew Amabomaded, I mean, let's be honest, he probably won't play for Forest ever again. Robbie Brady, 45 minutes in a 2-1 loss against QPR. Jimmy Dunn got a goal, playing right back in a 2-1 win over Preston North End. John Egan, 1 minute in a 2-1 win over Watford. Good on you, John. And Aaron Cashin is injured for Derby County. And Goodell Garcia McNulty, 90 minutes in a 1-all draw with RKC. And Will Ferry, 90 minutes, clean sheet against Celtic today. Happy, Conor.
I'm very happy with that. Well done, Dave. Proud of you.
Thank you very much. Done by name, done by nature. And what's going on? Is there something going on? I saw in the comments we're missing the RT News now. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So it's just look at some of the comments there. Yes. No Irish telly tonight, sadly. So, anything to say about the tenders, Conor? Anything at all?
No, I prefer not to speak.
I'm fucking raging I missed out on that intro, but I do apologise. It's not. If you're watching it for the first time, I'd normally a little bit more professional than that. Not a great deal. Not a great deal more professional. Just a little bit more professional. Isn't that right, Conor?
I'd let you think that anyway.
Yeah. No, well, I do have one. I do have it. I'll tell you what. Let's have a look at it. It's just loading up there now. Better late than never. There you go. I told you, don't I? Told you. You all doubted me, didn't you? Right. Over to the midfield. So, any comments on the defenders? Come on.
Jimmy Dunn was good. He scored a 90-minute winner again. That's 2 weeks
as well, didn't he?
Which probably took the top off and celebrated. That's how you do it, though. If you're going to score a 90-minute winner, get the top off and just celebrate as much as you want. He's doing very well at the moment. For a right back to be scoring goals and having an impact, he's had, like, to be honest, when he used to play centre back, I didn't think he was much of a player, to be honest. I thought he'd probably end up playing League One or something, but since Marty Sequentis has come into QPR and he's been playing right back, he's been excellent, and they adore him now at Loftus Road, the Irish Cafu, they call him. So it's good to see that he's really took off and he's really making a claim for himself to be in Heimir Hallgrímsson's squads.
Yeah, no, fair play to him. And, right back is a position. I mean, Seamus Coleman coming back today, 17 minutes, but that's the first bit of football in the Premier League he's played in weeks, isn't it? So, no, fair play to him. And Matt Doherty, loving life under the, interim manager, I suppose, till the new fella comes in. Hey, he got own goal.
Was he not there? He was there today.
He was watching it, wasn't he? Yeah.
I thought he was. He did a training session yesterday. That one training session maybe was the difference.
Maybe he was. He's a changed man. Right, let's move it on to the midfield. Keep the comments coming in, guys. Josh Cullen, 90 minutes in a 2-1 win over Watford for Burnley. Jason Knight, 90 minutes of 2-0 loss against West Brom. Jason Malumbi, 54 minutes and 2-1 win over Bristol City. He got booked, actually. Finis Az, 84 minutes, no assists, no goals. And a 3-3 draw with Plymouth. And Dee Moore, 67 minutes and 2-0 loss against Sheffield Wednesday for Stoke. Jack Taylor, 38 minutes and a 4-0 drubbing at the hands of Newcastle. Jamie McGrath, 90 minutes and a 3-1 loss against Hibs. Will Smallbone still out injured. Alan Brown also out injured. A few injuries here in the midfield, actually. We'll talk about that in a second. Mark Sykes, yep, he's injured. Luke Connell not in the squad. Maybe you might have an update in a second on that. I couldn't find any news. Bosun Lawal also an unused sub, but he is only coming back from injury, to be fair to Bosun. Conor Coventry, 86 minutes and a 5-0 thumping over Northampton for Charlton. And Rokovata, 45 minutes subbed off at half-time and a 2-1 loss against Burnley. Any news on Luke Connell, why he wasn't in the squad? I couldn't see anything with injuries.
I think he was just injured, to be honest, because he's the club captain. So I was looking myself the other day. I couldn't find it, and if you haven't found it since, I'd imagine it was just an injury or a suspension or something. But it's not like he would have been dropped. But it's strange. I was watching Watford against Burnley first half yesterday, and Rokovata was probably their brightest player in the first half, and the Burnley commentators actually themselves praised him, saying how bright they thought he was and that he was one of their bright sparks. So and then he was taken off at halftime. I know cleverly changed the system. He played a 4 at the back in the first half, went to a 5 in the back, and took Rocco off for a wing back, which I still thought was a bit strange to take him off after playing well. But maybe, I don't know, maybe just he wanted more defensive options, but they were losing at that stage. But they lost the game anyway. He played. It's not like he played badly, so I guess just move on to Boxing Day for Rocco.
Yeah, Tom, not so cleverly there. Did you like that? Did you like the comment? Did you like what it did?
Great one.
Yeah, well done. Brilliant. Right, let's move on to the attackers. Oh yeah, let's move on to the attackers. I was going to say something more. You're lucky. Forwards, Evan Ferguson, 5 minutes and a 1-1 draw at West Ham. You had a lot to say about that, Conor. Troy Parrott, 89 minutes and a goal against FC 20 for AZ Alkmaar. Adam Ida, 28 minutes and a 0-0 draw with Dundee United for Celtic. Tom Cannon, 90 minutes, missed a penalty in a 2-0 loss against Sheffield Wednesday for Stoke City. We're down to 10 men for age as well. Sammy Smollick's back from illness, 78 minutes and a 4-0 drubbing at the hands of Newcastle. Festy, 30 minutes and a 2-1 loss against Burnley for Watford. Casey McAteer, out injured, out until New Year, unfortunately. But Mikey Johnson back on fire. 2 goals in 73 minutes today. Chidozie, Benny almost did it again. Out injured. Callum Robinson, 18 minutes and 2-0 loss against Sheffield United for Cardiff. They are now in the drop zone. Michael Obafemi subbed off after 9 minutes. He is out injured. Unfortunate one for Michael. Conley on, you sub again. And Sinclair Armstrong also out injured. A lot of injuries. And Tyler Goodrum, 90 minutes and a 4-0 hammering at the hands of Leeds. Any update on Michael Obafemi? 9 minutes. Tore his grind, did he?
You must have got it before I did. I couldn't find that. None. What happened? But when you come off injured after 9 minutes, it's never a good look.
It's bad. It was a groin injury. I don't know if he's torn it or not, but it's a groin injury. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry you missed a rep track. Oh, look at me, a rep tracker. I know everything's going on. Oh, Joe Bellingham's dad follows me. He didn't know that. There you go.
Don't cry. Don't cry, Dave.
I'm not crying. Just
because you're not professional and knowing to do your intro.
It was the intro's fault. Absolutely intro. It's actually StreamYard's fault. I was uploading. What happens is I upload a load of videos, for whatever reason, it just genuinely didn't go up. It's that simple, folks. The hamster is dead. Anything else there from the attackers that tickled you? Evan Ferguson. You had a lot to say about that, saying you're giving out, saying, "Oh, Evan Ferguson," I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know where you're coming from. I think I put out one tweet, didn't I? I just said that it was an eventful 5 minutes he had. He probably should have scored. He had a chance where you'd back him 9 times out of 10 to at least get in target, and he pretty much missed the ball completely. So I think that's the thing. I think he feels the weight of his shoulders weight of the world on his shoulders when he comes on at the moment, because there's so much pressure on him, and he probably sees it all over social media. This Evan Ferguson's, people are just calling him shite every so often. You see on social media when he just needs a break, he needs probably another goal to get him back going. Then he missed that chance, and then 2 minutes later, ball was played into his feet in the box, took a brilliant touch, laid it off to Iari, and Fabianski made a top save. So it was a busy first 5 minutes for him.
No, I mean, 5 minutes is not enough, is it? There you go, kid. Barely a teenager, barely out of his teens. I think he's 20 now, isn't he? Just there you go. Make a difference, son. Claw back. It's fucking ridiculous. Keep your comments coming in, guys, by the way.
Actually, there is, someone's comment there, Dylan Cullen, about Abankwa. Abankwa played 45 minutes at the San Siro the other day for Udinese. Came on at half-time. They were 2-0 down. And supposedly, I didn't see the game now, but from all accounts, he done very, very well when he came on. And he came on the week before, only a couple of minutes in the Serie A, but where he plays usually on the right of a back three, and he is very brilliant. Like, there's, for what he offers to a team, even his ability to carry the ball out from the back with his pace, power, he's the biggest legs I've ever seen in a footballer. So he is a real talent. And just another one, Ike Orazi made his debut for Stade Reims today in the French Cup. Only 17, brilliant winger. He's probably, in my opinion, one of the top talents we have in this country, possibly the best we have at the moment. And when you watch him play, he'd remind you of Rafael Leao, the way he carries the ball, the way he takes men on. And to be at 17, he went to France last summer from Shamrock Rovers, and he seems to be really, really impressing coaches there. He was the youngest player actually in the matchday squad for them. He was the only player born in 2007, and he got a chance today. I think he played 7 minutes in total, so it's great to see him make his debut.
There you go. Any players you think that maybe we should mention, other than Ditsy, of course? Put them in the comments and we'll get back.
I forgot to mention Ditsy, by the way.
Yes.
Goal and assist.
He's still doing it. Timeless, that lad. I've seen a few comments in there, by the way. It's going to go up your arse sideways, Connor. I'll get to those in a second. Right, Heimir Hallgrímsson, obviously, we covered his interview during the week with Kieran Crowley, friend of the pod, and about, reflecting on 2024 and all of that. Good interview over on FAI's YouTube channel. However, Heimir did make a few waves by coming out and saying that he is basically talking to some potential granny rulers. So Conor decided to make a list of some potential granny rulers, although one isn't a granny ruler because they are from the island of Ireland, so apparently, but it's just a term, isn't it? It's what we use. Conor's put together a list, so we're going to have a look at this list now. Conor's going to go through it. We're going to read it out. Conor's going to analyze it, and then we want to get your thoughts on it. We're going to go to the comments after all of that. Conor, are you ready?
Are you ready, sir?
Good stuff. Here we go. Eligible players for Ireland, and a question mark. So number 1, Liam Delap, 21, English born. He's a striker at Ipswich Town. Paul Nobel.
Can you pause it there, Dave? Can you pause? No pause. What sort of setup is this? Unacceptable.
No, that is actually StreamYard. That is StreamYard. You got
unacceptable.
The list. You've got the list. I can't pause it. I have to go through it. You said that's what you wanted. You wanted an iBig setup. That's the iBig setup. Well, you can't pause it.
Right, let's go.
Right, we'll do it again. Okay, so here is a list of potential eligible players for the boys in green. Let's start again. So we got Liam Delap, 21, English born. He's a striker at Ipswich Town. German born Paul Nobel, 22-year-old from Mainz. He's an attacking midfielder. Jack McGlynn from the USA, centre midfielder from Philadelphia Union. He is 21. Terry Devlin from Northern Ireland. Republic of right back for Portsmouth. Louis Barry, 21-year-old, Portsmouth on loan from Aston Villa. He's a right back, 21. Dennis Kirkin, Dublin born, has played for England, and Latvia. He's a left back at Sunderland. CJ Egan Riley, 21-year-old, English born. He is a defender from Burnley. Josh Ashenpong, 21-year-old defender, English born. He's at Chelsea. Josh Key, right back at Swansea. He's 25. Dan Gore, Man United centre midfielder, English born, 20 years old. Joe Bellingham, 19-year-old, the brother of Jude, centre midfielder for Sunderland. And of course, his dad follows Rep Tracker. So tell us what you think of that list there, which fortunately isn't up to the satisfaction of Sir Conor McAvoy over there. So the first one, go through, Conor. Tell us.
Yeah. So I would say I've grouped them off between the first 3, and then you have the other 8 after that, because currently under FIFA rules, Liam Delap, Paul Nebel, and Jack McGlynn aren't eligible, as the rules currently state. If you have played for a competitive game for a country, whether it's under 21s or seniors, at the age of 21, you are no longer able to represent another nation. But there was a briefing put out by FIFA not too long ago, which was meant to go to a FIFA council meeting, which I'm not sure there's been any word of what's happened, that they were moving the age to 22 and under 21s caps wouldn't count. So them 3 would come back into the picture as being eligible to represent Ireland, although currently they can't. Usually when FIFA go to these sort of votes, these votes would take place, and it would probably go through. With Liam Delap, it's probably unlikely, because I can see a way that England will try and call him up no matter, even if he had an interest in switching to Ireland. If he did, England would call him up straight away. So it's probably unlikely. Paul Nebel, he's having a really good season actually with Mainz. He was on loan last year in Bundesliga 2, done very well. Back in Mainz this year, scored twice yesterday actually. He's 5 goals and assists in 13 games. He was always a winger, but he's playing as a number 10 now, in that it'd be a 3-4-2-1 system. So he's doing really well, but it's kind of what is his interest level. I know he was informed himself by people that if he played for Germany under 21s past the age of 21s, it would rule him out for Ireland, and he done it. And then I'd say probably the most likely one of these rules go through out of them three is Jack McGlynn, who's playing with Philadelphia Union. Lovely centre midfielder, left-footed. I believe there's been talks between him and the FAI in the past, a few talks. Whatever way, I think he was meant to come over actually for a training camp for under-19s before, and the club didn't release him. So there's clear interest there. I've had people contact me saying they've spoke to him at games and stuff, Irish Americans, and saying that he's always said he'd love to play for Ireland, but he went to the Olympics last summer with America, played in the Olympics, which made him didn't make him eligible anymore. But I think with the rules, and especially with the depth America have now in central midfield, I feel that he is one that we could see represent Ireland in the future. Especially he comes from his father is Irish, and as we all know, people with Irish parents are very loyal to the country of Ireland and are very proud of their heritage. Yeah, I think he is possibly one. Do you have anything on them three, Dave, you want to say?
I know Nick obviously was a big fan of him. Jack McGlynn, he was always after him for a long time. I think with Liam Delap, it's just not going to happen, is it? He's a Premier League striker. You imagine Ipswich are going to go down. Excuse me. You'd imagine that he's not going to stay there. And, you know, the amount of goals he scored is such a poor side. And they are poor, let's be honest. Ipswich, they're going to go straight back down. I can see him at the age of 21 maybe hanging on for a little bit as a striker. Obviously, Harry Kane's going to be stepping down soon enough, isn't he? I'm not saying he's going to fill Harry Kane's boots, but he's going to go up, isn't he? He's going to go up in the pecking order. Or we could really do with a striker like that. I just continue away there, Conor. I just got an alarm going off. I'll be back in a second.
Right, so I think the next one we'll go into here is actually a very interesting one. Is Terry Devlin at Portsmouth from Cookstown in Tyrone, has a big GA background, and he would have always played centre mid coming through at Portsmouth, but now this season, since the 22nd of October, he came on a half time against QPR right back and had a very impressive showing. Ever since, broke into the side. It started pretty much every week. I think he had a bit of a poor game last week against Derby. Got taken off at half time. But if you look at Northern Ireland's options, they have it right back at the moment. They have Conor Bradley, Trey Hume. We have this lad from the north, but big Irish background. Follows Rep Tracker on Twitter, which I wasn't aware of the other day, which sometimes can be an inkling what his background is. So where he sees his heart lie, I think this is one the FAI have to go for, have to approach him, because he's 21 now. If he plays again for the North, he won't be able to play for us anymore. But, and as we've seen in the past, when lads that have played for the North have a chance of switching to us or want to explore that possibility, Northern Ireland have called them up straight away to get him in. So I think between now and March, the FAI should try and get in contact with him, whether to call him up or not, but at least try and have a conversation with him, see where his head lies. Especially, he's a Catholic from the North. Probably his dream has probably always been to represent Ireland. With the lack of depth we currently have at right back compared to Northern Ireland, it's one position you could say they actually are stronger than us. Yeah. So I do think get him in.
I mean, they got Conor Bradley, didn't they?
And Trey Hume at Sunderland, who's a brilliant player.
Yeah, I mean, we completely procrastinated over Conor Bradley to game his debut stupendously early. It's kind of ironic, really, because we have two very aged right backs with Doherty and especially Seamus Coleman. Well, hopefully we have a word with Terry Devlin. It's a position we need definite covering. We're desperately short there. Louis Barry, 21-year-old, he's going to be taken back from Stockport, isn't he? He's going to be taken back. He's obviously a Villa
player. He scored if anyone remembers, scored in his debut against Liverpool, against Kelleher, and that's actually when the whole team was away. He's a brilliant player, Louis Barry. He played for Ireland before when he was under 16s, played in the Victory Shield and played under 15 level for Ireland. So we've seen him play in green before. Top goal scorer in the EFL this season, 14 goals and 3 assists. it's no surprise Aston Villa have recalled him. There's been talk of it now for the last month or two. He's a top player. I think it's Middlesbrough seems the most likely option at the moment he'll go to, and I do think, other than probably Terry Devlin, Louis Vardy, we are likely to see in green. From things I've heard from about his interest levels in playing for Ireland, about things he's done, I think we will see Louis Barry in the March squad. I think there's no reason why Heimir wouldn't pick him now, especially he'll step up to 11 and go to Championship, unless he goes to Championship and he completely stinks to joint out, which I think is still unlikely, because he'll go to a good Championship side that he'll play off the left for them. He really will impact. He will really impact the game. He's a goal scoring winger, which Ireland has always lacked. Like we've seen Mikey Johnson score twice today, but that were his first 2 goals of the season. And from things I've heard, it's a good chance. There's a very good chance we will see him in an Ireland jersey, whether it's March or not, whether Heimir picks him or not. But I think we will see Louis Barry in the March squad.
Okay, of course, the next one is controversial one. Dublin born, Dennis Kirkin, Latvian parents, grew up in England, to be fair. He's 22. He's doing well as a left back. So another position we're desperately struggling in. Centre backs were okay. When it comes to full backs, we are desperately short. Dennis Kirkin, what's happening there? I know that one's a little bit more complicated, isn't it, over the nationality situation?
My fair Dennis Kirkin is he's a superb player. You can understand why people seem to think that eligibility, picking a country, is a straightforward thing when you can represent 3 different countries. It's not that straightforward. I've heard things that he has had very positive conversations with the FAI in the past, but for whatever reason, he hasn't decided who he wants to represent. Like, I'd imagine I know he lost his father a couple of years ago, and he probably feels that extra bit of love for Latvia as compared to someone who normally would, because he's never lived there. But the fact he was born in Dublin, he's had very positive conversations with the FAI in the past. You would hope that maybe the FAI can, or Heimir can get him in, but if he's not in the March squad, you'd probably wonder where does his heart, where does his head really lie? Because, like, I think that he should, if he was playing for England still, he should have been in there, because he's still eligible to play for their 21s. He should have been in some of their squads over the last couple of months, and you'd hope in a way he kind of feels disrespected by the lack of call-ups, or whether maybe he's just trying to represent Ireland.
Yeah. Number 7, of course, CJ Egan Riley, a Burnley 21-year-old centre back, right back.
Yeah, CJ Egan Riley, like Louis Barry, has represented Ireland already at under 15, under 16 level, played in that Victory Shield side, and now he's doing very well at Burnley this season. Came in last summer, and it's good. He went out on loan from January to this summer in the second tier of Holland, and I don't think he done that well. But to see him come back this year, come straight into the Burnley side, playing over John Egan really every week, and has been excellent. He made his debut actually for Man City a couple of years ago in the Champions League, played it right back, done well. That big things were expected of him. He was really meant to go to Burnley and really step it up and show what he could do. But whatever reason, it didn't go to plan. Now he's seems to be going to that next level. Can play at centre back, can play at right back, can play as a number 6. He's a real good player. I'd imagine he's one Heimir is definitely looking at. And he has a younger brother as well that plays for Spurs under 18, so he's probably another one to look out for. But there hasn't been an heard anything about him being called up, so hopefully we can see Egan Riley represent Ireland this year.
And of course, Chelsea player Josh Achimpong, 18-year-old Chelsea right back. And what you can tell us about him?
He's one that I wouldn't be very confident now in representing Ireland. He played the other night against Shamrock Rovers actually at right back, done well. He's already in the England setup at under 20 level. Probably if he continues on his way, he'll probably be in the 21s soon. I'd imagine he'll go out on loan in January because he won't want to be sitting on the bench at Chelsea. If anyone remembers, there was a big thing actually during the start of the season that Chelsea weren't going to let him train with the first team anymore, or weren't going to let him play if he didn't sign a new contract, and it was thought that he wasn't going to sign one, but then he did last week before he played against Rovers. He's a very good player. Right back, can play centre back as well. I don't think he's one that we'll probably end up seeing in green. But with these sort of players, with this sort of level, why not approach them if they can benefit Ireland, especially at the right back position? Try everything you can. I know you want lads that want to play in green to play for Ireland, but there's no harm in trying.
No, absolutely. Josh Key, 25-year-old Swansea right back. It's a bit of an underwhelming one, that, isn't it? 25-year-old.
I think I had to put one as was probably a realistic option in there because I don't know if you remember, Dave, because last year he represented, or not represented, he did an interview with BBC in Wales talking about his Irish heritage and how he'd love to represent Ireland and all the things. So I think he's one we can say, if given the chance and if considered good enough, we would definitely see him in an Ireland squad. Whether he's good enough at the moment or not, I don't know. Swansea fans seem to like him, but this season he's had 0 goals, 0 assists. We probably expect more from a right back at international level that can offer more going forward. Although he's obviously a good player, he's playing every week, plays over Cyrus Christie every week. Is he good enough in the long term to play for Ireland? I don't know. But can he offer something? Or is he one that Heimir could call up in March or even June friendlies? We might see that. But I think I had to put someone who's realistic. That's one that if he's called up, we wouldn't be surprised. He's already declared pretty much that he would love to play for Ireland. I imagine he probably already has a passport sorted, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Fair. And Dan Gord, 20-year-old at Manchester United, centre midfielder.
He's a difficult case now because he would have always gone by Dan Kavanagh when he was younger. His father is Irish, and as I think it's self-explanatory, he's now goes by Dan Gord. I think there's been something going on in the background that he's now goes by Dan Gord instead of Kavanagh. But I know he's definitely one that the FAI have reached out to in the past and are still very keen on getting him on board. He's already made his Premier League debut for United. He's already played in the Cup. Although he's played very little minutes, he is very highly rated. He struggled over the last year with injuries. He went on loan to Port Vale. But with an Irish father, there's always a chance he can represent us. He's been in the England setup for a while, for a long time, but last year or so he hasn't really been involved, probably mainly down to injuries because he has struggled with injuries. This seems to be a common thing with young players at Man United, actually, but he's a very, very talented player. He's small. He'd remind you of Joe Hodge, the way he plays in central midfield. Very small, not very good on the ball, very tenacious, something that we miss as Ireland as midfielders who are very good in the ball. And if probably, I'd say he will go out on loan again in January. Very talented player. If possible to get him on board, I think Ireland should really, really try because he is a real talent and the position that we do lack numbers.
And last but not least, Joe Bellingham, the brother of Jude Bellingham, your favourite player in the world, 19-year-old Sunderland centre midfielder. His dad follows your page over Twitter. What can you tell us about Joe?
If I had to give Joe Bellingham one message, just get out of your brother's shadow. Come to Ireland. Come to the best country in the world. Get yourself in green. You know you want to play in green. We have to see it. Like he's took Bellingham off the back of his jersey because he wants to kind of separate himself from the brother's image. So he puts Job on it. So he might as well do it at international level as well and represent Ireland. He's actually had a brilliant season. When watching Job last year, I used to think, what is he? What's the reason he's hyped up? Now, if you look at him at the moment, this season, the last 2 weeks, he scored 2 game winners. Last week, the one came back from 2-0 down. He scored the third goal to make it 3-2. And then on Saturday, he scored the winner to make it 2-1 against Norwich. So he's having a brilliant season, to be fair. He's in England. He got an England under 21 call up last camp in November. But at the end of the day, when your brother is Jude Bellingham and when your brother's playing at that level, there's a lot of pressure on him. Maybe, just maybe, would he like to come out of his brother's? No matter, it's not even it's not a negative, because people saying someone's shadow is a negative thing. It's not that. It's just the context of no matter who you are, if your brother's Jude Bellingham, you're going to be in that looked at as Jude Bellingham's brother. But get yourself in green, make yourself a hero for Ireland. Get us to World Cup 2026 in midfield. And We will love you, adore you.
You soppy bastard. Right, well, there you go. Tell us what you think about that. We are going to release that as a separate video, a more detailed video, actually, later on for you guys to have a look at. We're going to actually, before we get into the comments, just a reminder, Christmas Eve, we have put together a lovely little package for you guys to enjoy. Do you remember, Conor, do you remember Lansdowne Legends?
No, I don't.
Do you?
Tell me more.
Well, Conor, even though you were there, yeah, we basically, Martin and I sat down with Alan Kelly, Clint Morrison, and Ian Hart, the main one, in the Camden Centre the Friday before the game against it. So we're completely off the game tonight, folks. We do apologise. We're not like this every night. We're just having one of those nights, I suppose. And basically, yes, we recorded the whole thing, the audio version of it, and we're going to release the whole lot. Well, we're going to split it into two parts. Part one is going to be on Christmas Eve. That's part one of Lansdowne Legends. It's fantastic, if I say so myself. Had a little listen back through it, easy for me to say, and I'm really enjoying it. Some brilliant stories. Alan Kelly was absolutely phenomenal. Why did that change there? What's going on? Are you struggling? Is your internet struggling, Conor?
It must be. Something must be going on in Monaghan today that the Wi-Fi is going slow.
Yeah, it's do you know, I've got a massive storm going on outside the window. But yes, basically we are going to put the whole thing up. Two parts. Part one, Christmas Eve, 12 p.m. There we go, noon. Only available on YouTube. It's only available on YouTube. Martin and myself chatting away to 3 Lansdowne Legends. The stories are brilliant. Listening back to the one about, here's one about Roy Keane standards. This came up from, this was Ian Hart's one. This is brilliant. Bit of language here, folks, as you'd expect.
I remember on one occasion where it was out in Portmarnock, and obviously Roy Delap was in the squad, and we're doing a rondo, and obviously Roy was in it, and Roy had played it literally about that high half the ground. Can you remember it, Clint? It literally hit his ankle and bounced off right up in the sky, and Roy says, if you can't fucking deal with it, fuck off. So you can imagine that was the kind of where, it was a certain kind of professionalism, he demanded it from other lads, and obviously all the lads were playing top end of the Premier League then, but it was quite ruthless. But when we were out there to give the.
Of course, that's just one of the stories there. So that's the sort of thing you're going to get. It's going to be Christmas Eve, noon, part one, Lansdowne Legends. We've got another clip that we're going to play later on in the stream as we go through the comments. So that's it there. It's on YouTube. If you haven't already, do subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. If you're watching us live on YouTube, you haven't subscribed to the page, bosh, just hit subscribe. It's nice and easy. And we've got loads of stuff like that coming your way anyway. But Conor, you were there. You were in the audience. You enjoyed it, didn't you? You loved it.
Yeah, it was a good night. I enjoyed it now. It'll be enjoyable to listen back for people who weren't there, learn a few things, and they were good crack. Yeah,
no, it was brilliant. Alan Kelly. That boy can tell a story. He can absolutely tell a story. Got a cracking story. I've got a story. I will play a little bit later on during the comments to break it up a little bit, where he meets Jack Charlton for the first time in 1986 during that infamous Liam Toohey match. Well, Liam Toohey was Ireland youth manager. They were playing England, Ellen Road. Brian Kerr and Noel O'Reilly, God bless him, were his assistants, and Liam Toohey was supposed to be Jack's assistant, and they're all supposed to work together under Jack. And this game and what Jack did caused Liam Toohey to quit Irish football, and we have an exclusive story on that, and that's going to come up a little bit later on in the program. Right, should we get to the comments, Conor? Should we see what the lovely folk, the wonderful Raw faithful, have to say? Shall we do it, Conor?
Go on ahead. Get stuck in.
We will. Let's get stuck in. Right, here we go. First comment. Kahuna, Jack McGlynn is a possible big miss out. Possible big miss? What?
Does he mean if we don't get him? I don't know.
Yeah, I know Nick was always a big fan. When Nick was on the pod, he'd always be a big fan of Jack McGlynn. Really rated him. You know, not to be sneezed at. Kahuna, again, what's your likeness of each player? 1 not happening, 10 expecting it. Oh, Conor, that's for you. I'll read it.
Okay, go on.
I'll read a name out. You give me 1 to 10. 1 not expecting it, 10 yes. Liam Delap.
3.
Paul Nobel.
3.
Jack McGlynn.
6.
Oh, Terry Devlin.
Still a 6.
Louis Barry.
9.
Oh, Dennis Kirkin.
4.
Egan Riley.
A 6.
Achin Pom.
1.
Josh Key.
10.
Dan Gore.
A 5.
Bellingham. Job.
A 12.
There you go. Hope that adds to that for you there, Kahuna. Martin Fitzpatrick. David, did you go to Shamrock Rovers match? I didn't, Martin, unfortunately. I didn't. I was working in my real job, so I didn't get the time. But I was watching. I was following it, and it's like when was it Rovers against Tottenham, wasn't it, years ago at White Hart Lane, where Rovers, or was it Dundalk? It was Rovers where they equalised. Oh, they went 1-0 up, didn't they? Yeah, I remember going mental watching it in the when I used to work in the in Paddy Power's in Wallington, little shitty town out in between Croydon and Mitcham, and yeah, and then of course they got battered 5-1. I think it was a 4-1. So no, I didn't watch it, but you know, fair play to him. £6 million in the bank, brilliant. John Sullivan, hi Dave. Sorry I was late to live. I was watching Bear City. Good man, John. What's going on? God, I was actually watching a clip of an episode of Glen Rowe. Christ. You haven't a clue what we're talking about, Conor, do you? No.
Glen Rowe, the ex-League of Ireland striker.
Exactly. Aidan Corbett. Merry Christmas, lads. Merry Christmas, Aidan. Joe Bellingham and Louis Barry are surely in this list of potential call-ups. You are correct. Whether they see themselves as wearing green is a different matter. Not according. Combined score of 400 there, Conor, for you, wasn't it? You definitely going to make it. James Agnew, happy Christmas, boys. Happy Christmas to you, James. In relation to possible new recruits, what chance do you give Kirkin committing to us? He'd be a great addition, and we need more fullbacks.
I think it's still unlikely. Like, if you would have asked me 3-4 months ago before the November camp, I would say more likely. But the fact that it's gone on longer, still not deciding to play for Ireland if he was, seems to be getting less likely.
Yeah, no, as time goes on, it is kind of eking away there. John O'Sullivan, and you're missing your team news, Dave. I know, what terrible missing the news and Irish news at that. Darrell O'Connor didn't see the Liverpool match, but hopefully the goals Alisson conceded were bad. So there's an argument for Kelleher to be number one, or he'll have to go next month. He won't go next month, but he'll have to go at the end of the season. Nah, just Tottenham, isn't it? They were 5-1 down, and then it was 5-3, then they lost 6-3, and Liverpool could have made it like 10-3. Like, it was just battered. Declan Finnegan, how you doing, Dec? Jimmy Dunn is on fire at QPR, playing at right back. Must have earned a call-up for the March playoff games. He has to, doesn't he? He has to be given a spin.
Yes, keep it. That's the problem, though, when you do it now. When you hit peak in December time, January time, it's still a while from the March internationals. You have to keep it up until the squad is named, or you can easily fall back to the wayside again.
Yeah. Rolling Stone. What's Rolling Stone got to say? Looking at the Hungarian lad playing for Liverpool tonight, it shows what kind of form against. If that's the form he's in, we are in big trouble. That's one player. Zabalai or Zabazai, whatever the fuck his name is. Zabazai. Yeah, I mean, it's one player, Rolling Stone. You know, it's 11 to be 11. Don't worry about it.
It's easier to do it in a Liverpool side than it is in a Hungary side.
Yeah. Richie Kennedy. Boxing Day? Is this an English channel? Boxing Day. Answer him, Connor. You're the one
Well,
who said it.
technically, channel, because where are you based? And you're the host.
Yeah, we're both based in the UK, Richie. So, what can you say? Moving on. Rolling Stone. Looks like we could lose Vata to Scotland. Just hold fire, Connor, for a second. Scottish team is in his ear about switching to Scotland. Scottish teammate, says Rolling Stone. What say you, Connor? You look like you're about to have a stroke there.
No, he's not switching. Simple as he's not switching.
No, we have it.
So I shown you a message the other day, Dave. I think it's clear that he's not switching.
Yeah. What I'm going to say on the Rockavata thing there, right? From what we've seen and from what I've seen, what Conor has shown me, the chances of him switching to Scotland are zilch. And if you make a fucking idiot out of me, Conor, I'll find you. But no. Yeah, from what we've seen, it's not happening, Conor, is it?
Nope, not a chance.
No, so we're not going to lose Vata to Scotland. Stephen O'Rourke, happy Christmas, guys. Good man, Stephen. Merry Christmas to you too. Michael, how many Irish first team players are making a difference in the Prem? Matt Doherty, goal last week and assist this week. It was in the wrong net, but still, it counts. Alfie Connolly, exactly. Good evening, guys. What did you think of the Shamrock Rovers game the other night? At least they still have a playoff. What's your thoughts on the opening day fixtures, Conor and Dave, in the League of Ireland? Well, I'll just say, I didn't get to see much of the game, Conor. No, you did. They're always going to get a hiding against Chelsea. Chelsea are, they're second in the Premier League. But you know what? Let's be honest. Chelsea should not be in. Is their squad value like £1 billion? And Shamrock Rovers is like 3 million or something like that, or something paltry compared to Chelsea. They shouldn't be in the Conference League. It's a blip, isn't it? It's an anomaly, basically.
Yeah. Chelsea's a brilliant side. Like there's no hiding. But even their second side, or even their young lads that are coming on playing, are all brilliant players. So yeah, they've done well enough to get the excuse of getting hammered tonight. And for Shamrock Rovers fans, they got their moment of their joy with the equaliser. So that's all they came for, is to celebrate a goal. And there's a big difference celebrating it if it would have made it 5-1 instead of making it 1-1. So they should be happy enough.
No, yeah, listen, they're delighted with it. Delighted, and fair play to them. Opening day fixtures, Alfie. Well, I mean, obviously, the big one, isn't it, is at Lansdowne Road, 2:00 on the 16th. Of course, the first games will be played on the 14th of Feb. Is that Valentine's Day? That's the 17th, isn't it?
14th of Feb.
14th. It is Valentine's Day, isn't it?
Yeah. Paddy's Day is 17th of March.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. We'll be sending one to your right hand, Conor. Valentine's Day card. That's a nollie, but it's a goodie. Of course, all the mature jokes here on Lansdowne Roar Live. Yes, there's 3 games on the 14th of February. Cork City at home to Galway United at Turner's Cross, 7:45. Shelbourne at home to Derry City. Tulka Park, big game there. That's actually a few big games there, really. That's another 7:45 kickoff on Friday. Pats are home to Drogheda in Richmond Park, 7:45. And then Saturday, the 15th, Sligo Rovers are at home to Waterford at the Showgrounds. That is at 7:45. And of course, the showpiece, which has got a little bit of flack from some non-Bows Rovers supporters. But of course, Bows host Shamrock Rovers in Lansdowne Road, 16th of Feb, 2:00 kickoff in Lansdowne Road, which I think is a brilliant idea because it just brings the level of it up. Other than the showpiece one, obviously, I think the one there is Shelbourne Derry City, isn't it? The 2 teams went neck and neck for most of last season for the League of Ireland title. And Derry City, he left, didn't he, the manager?
Yeah, Roy Higgins is gone. They've got Tiernan Lynch, who was the Lauren manager, who got them to Europe. So, and there's Derry like put decent money into their squad and like to invest. So the title race this season will be interesting. It's hard to say who's going to win it already, but it seems to be probably 4 teams in it at the moment that could say they have a chance to win the title.
Yeah, it's huge. And of course, Pats as well, Stephen Kenny. I haven't listened to it yet, Conor. We're going to have to listen to it during the week, the Stephen Kenny interview there at Second Captains. Apparently, well, I don't want to comment on it. I've heard bits about it, but I want to listen to it for myself. But of course, he is the Pats manager at home to draw it. I think a lot of us expect big things from Pats this season, don't we? Say what you want about Stephen Kenny, but he's a brilliant League of Ireland manager.
Yeah, they're going to win the league. I think they'll win it.
Hopefully, that's the team I'll be supporting over from London over here. My former local side, I should say. Go on the Pats. Go on the Saints. I haven't been in Richmond Park in years, actually. I think I was at a UEFA Cup game. I was against the Swedish side. Olsberg, was it? And I remember they got two. I was on the, they had the stand behind the goal. And it was like temporary stand. I remember we got like 2 goals like in the last minute, and everyone was jumping up and down, and I thought the stand was going to collapse. It was quite scary, but it was brilliant. I think it was Ellsberg. That's going back about nearly 20 years. Brilliant night. Anyway, we'll move it on. Thank you for your comment there, Alfie. Of course, the League of Ireland starts in, just a little over 2 months away, 14th of February. You can buy the season pass, by the way. Check it out. It's £100 for every game, and you can get it in the UK. You can get it all around the world. I did ask, by the way, because I want to get my season pass. And you can watch it on your TV. You can watch it on your phone. They've really upped the accessibility and the connectivity of it. So get on board. Pick an Irish team, support them, get behind it. Let's get some money into football in Ireland. Says the 2 lads living in Britain. Dylan Cullen. He does. He's doing very well.
His name. Come on. You need to learn to say it.
A banquet.
Yeah, see, it's easy.
Yeah, banquet.
It's easy to
doing
say.
well. I had to stop myself. I was like, God. Dylan, thank you for that. Not this time. Rolling Stone. Here we go. What's he got to say now? Cascarino said that Ferguson has been way overhyped. Has he now? Said his finishing ability is nowhere near Lewandowski's level, and he can't lead the line on his own. It's like I read something negative about an Irish player. There, have some of that. First of all, he's 20 years of age, Rolling Stone. He is 20. Cascarino would know about being a bollocks finisher, let's be honest. He scored some important goals for Ireland, but that lad was, he wasn't the most agile of centre forwards. But I do like Cass, don't get me wrong. He's nowhere near Lewandowski. Okay. He's 20.
It's one of the greatest strikers to ever play football.
In the modern era, like Lewandowski, that is, not Ferguson. It takes time. Put it this way. Do you remember, Conor, probably a bit before your time, when Drogba was in the Premier League first with Chelsea, that boy could not hit a barn door. It would go in off his arse or would bobble off his knee. He was disastrous. He was clumsy.
Yeah.
He was awful. He was cumbersome. And you thought, really, why was this guy from Marseille, I think they got him from? And all of a sudden, he just exploded into life. And he was banging him in from 30 yards, 10 yards, 5 yards, header. It can happen.
And
it can happen.
And Dave, I don't know why he's saying that about his finishing ability. We've seen nothing from Ferguson to say his finishing ability is bad. We've only seen good things from his finishing because he hasn't had that many chances or played that much football over the last year or two. Like, I know he's not scoring many goals, but like, it's not like he's getting chance after chance or even like he's getting 5-10 minutes in games at the moment a lot of time, and he's basically getting no chances. The other day was the first time I've seen him get a chance in a game like a while, so I don't think he can say he's a bad finisher. I think that's just a lazy comment from Cascarino.
Well, that I actually said it in my article, which is available on lansdowneroar.ie, where lazy journalists talking about this Ireland team. Oh, it's the worst Ireland team of all time. That's just lazy journalism. Lazy journalism. It's a trope handed out. Oh, it's just the worst team of all time. We don't have Roy Keane, worst team of all time. No McGrath, no Ronnie Whelan. Worst team ever. Is not. It really isn't. Right. Is this the angriest Lansdowne Roar for a while, isn't it? Conor, I must say. Baylor again. I've been thinking we should have a minute of appreciating every podcast for the King, Ditzy. Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely. You listen, Martin, in Centre Parks, wherever you are. Butlands, probably. Is he in Mosney? Do you remember Mosney? Do you remember Mosney?
Never
That
heard
is
of
before you're. You never heard of Mosney?
Never heard of it.
Jesus Christ. I suppose, yeah, it became a refugee camp really before you genuinely did, didn't it? Who here watching the podcast went to Mosney? They had the Star Trek Next Generation experience 30 years ago. It was amazing. Anyway, Michael, we don't have the side to play out it out of the back. Well, against the top teams, no, we don't. I think, Conor, that's fair to say, isn't it? Against the top teams, no, we don't. We have ball playing centre backs. Collins is very good at that. Andrew Amabamadeli, Christ. Although he just won't play for Forest. I mean, they're fourth in the Premier League at the moment, doing really well. He can't get in that squad. It's just not going to happen. He needs a loan move. But it's when it gets to the midfield, Conor, I think that's the issue there, isn't it? Cullen's too slow on the ball. He needs to put his foot in it. He hasn't got the time to do it, nor the skill nor the technical ability to do that. Not like an Iniesta or a Xavi that can put their foot on the ball, look, and, in that split second, we just don't have it. I mean, not many do. But against the lower teams, we can, can't we? We can play it out a bit more. A bit direct, more direct against the harder sides, obviously.
You just need to be. There needs to be a variety of things to the game. It's not just like you can't just play from the back 100% of the time, or you can't just hoof it long 100% of the time. You have to adapt in game who the opposition is, what team we have available, so things change.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, but no, fair point, Michael. Fair point. Genuinely, Daryl Conor challenge for a Rolling Stone. Make a positive comment. Oh, hold on. I think we have it. Wait a second. Rolling Stone. Collins looks like he has potential at centre back. Do we have applause? Shit, I need to get some applause here. I don't have any applause. Bollocks. Hold on. Hey, there we go. Good man, Rolling Stone. He has made a positive comment. Good on you, son. Where are we? So I've got lost here. Taking the piss out of her. We do love a raw faithful. Darla Connor, we will take it. Big up, Nathan Collins. Good man, Darla. You got the best out of Rolling Stone. Michael, it's going to be a while before we do anything. Now, Michael, come on. Connor, tell him. Put him straight.
Well, Michael, I'll see you in America next summer. We'll talk about doing things then. We'll talk about how we are going to win the World Cup with Joe Bellingham in midfield for us.
Yeah. Joe Bellingham against England in the World Cup final. Brother against brother. Nation against nation. And then we'll wake up. In Corbett, is Jack McGlynn still eligible? Quick answer for that one, Connor?
No, but it looks like he will become eligible again.
With new FIFA rules. Just to...
Yeah.
All right, preface that. Mark Curran, Rolling Stone will struggle to make a positive comment. The most negative bastard I've ever seen. No, Mark, play it be nice. He is right, though. Kieran League, Drewsby Hall as well, right? Kieran?
No, I don't think so. From what I've heard, there's been no... I've tried a confirmation from people that would be very close to... would be able to inform me on these things, and no one has been able to actually confirm that he's eligible. So I take it at the moment he's probably not eligible.
Fair
it's
enough.
Just a thing that started online that he's eligible and never a confirmation of it.
And that's why you follow Rep Tracker. That's why. Because we put stuff like that to bed. Isn't that right, Connor?
Well, he could be. The thing is, he could be eligible, but I just no confirmation that he was eligible. When usually you would get confirmation on these sort of things.
He's had no confirmation, so it doesn't mean, so it's not true. There you go. Michael says, we are a work in progress. We are. Look, of course we're a work in progress. And, I feel quite positive under this new manager. Yet again, in my article over at lansdowneroar.ie, check out my article, Reasons to be Cheerful, Pot 3. I was an old Ian Drury and the Blockhead song. Reasons to be Cheerful, Part 3. Anyone remember that? No. You don't remember that, Conor, do you? Hit me with your rhythm stick?
Nope.
Clever Bastards. that was the B-side for Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick. I have the record of that. Great song. cracking base. Baylor, just would like to point out that Dave McGoldrick played for Ireland 13 times and won man in the match 8 times. An icon. Yeah. Do you know that? You know that needs. Do you know what that needs? Yeah. Gets one.
I think he deserves his own music.
He should have entrance music, shouldn't he? Wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Just. Yeah.
Just
Daniel. Yes. Daniel Mullen. Did Conor say Boxing Day instead of St. Stephen's Day? He so lives in the north. He does, Daniel. I told you. I know he does. He says he's from Monaghan. I don't believe him. I don't believe him.
He so lives in. That's such an American thing to say, isn't it? He lives in the north. It's
so
very sassy, isn't it?
In the north. That is sassy as well. Jesus, the Americana like dripping off this here. Yeah, well, just saying. David Scott, Louis Barry will go back to Aston Villa next week. From Stockport, he'll be loaned out to the Championship. Sheffield Wednesday, the most likely option. Leeds and Sheffield United also linked. Thank you for that, David. Actually, didn't know that much, but thank you. Rolling Stone, Mark Cullen, it's called reality. Reality, says Rolling Stone. We have good centre backs, but our midfielders suck. And this Hungarian side we have aspirations of beating is ranked 30 places above us. But we did beat them. We did beat them. We were lucky to beat them, Rolling Stone, but we beat them. Come on. Paula Carroll says shush to Rolling Stone. Kevin O, what about Graham Kavanagh's son? What's happened to him? He was at Middlesbrough, wasn't he? Banging him in.
He plays for Callum Kavanagh. He plays for Bradford now. He went to Bradford last January. I think you can't really talk about him as eligible players because he plays for Ireland. Like it's more lads who haven't represented Ireland or would come back to represent Ireland. But yeah, Callum Kavanagh plays for Bradford now. He's scoring goals for Bradford in League Two. He was in the 21s for a couple of camps last year, but he never played any competitive games.
How old is he? He is 20.
He's 21.
Okay, he's got time. He's got time. Yeah, basically, yeah, and just to double down on that, Kevin. Graham Kavanagh, who is a friend of the page as well on the podcast. That's not even an option. I think he basically made it abundantly clear to Callum that he would not be playing for any other country other than Ireland.
It's actually funny if you hear Callum speak, Dave. He speaks in a thick Dublin accent. It's funny. A lad that's never lived on the island of Ireland speaks exactly like he's from the country of Ireland. So it's I think it's a good one.
It's quintessentially Graham Kavanagh, isn't it? That you're going to speak with a Dublin accent. That is it. Yeah, thank you for your question, Kevin. And another one. John O'Shea should be using his Sunderland connections to get Kirkin. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is. Maybe he has.
They follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, Kirkin, we'll see. Hopefully, though, but it's got to be, if it's not by the summertime, next season, I reckon it's we're flogging a dead horse. John O'Sullivan, Conor just said Boxing Day. I can't believe it. Tell him, Dave. He so lives in the north. You live in the north. I know it. Ed Egan Riley was in City Academy. Thank you, Ed. He was. Rolling Stone, Dewsbury Hall would help us a lot. We'll be amazed if he declared for us. He won't unless he moves down to the Championship. Okay. Dave McGanna, on Fort later. Conor, is that a private joke?
Yeah.
Care to share it?
You can answer it for me. You say yes or no.
No, I don't know what it is. On Fort.
All right, that's
what?
Fine.
Was it Irish? Is it?
Let's ask you again.
Oh, here we go now. We're trying to put on the old fake Irish now, are we? Clearly, like from the north. What does it mean? Oh,
no,
hold the fort.
It's not Irish at all. No, it's English. It's not in Irish.
I don't know.
It's just someone asked me to be playing Fortnite later.
Oh, you're a gamer. Oh, bless you.
Just relieving bringing back some childhood memories by going on at the moment.
Childhood memories, what, last summer, you mean? I used to be a gamer.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I can remember playing Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, and Knuckles on my Mega Drive. Mario on my Nintendo. Not SNES. Never had a SNES. Had a Nintendo. I even had a Sonic CD. Metal Gear Solid. The first FIFA. Come on, guys. Who's watching this? All the L retro games. Royal Rumble. Remember that in the Mega Drive? Raw is War. Super WrestleMania. All these games. No, Connor hasn't got a clue. Hasn't got a clue.
Remember SmackDown versus Raw 2010? That was a good game.
I think so. I think I stopped those wrestling games back then. I can remember Super WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble. You had like the Warrior, Ultimate Warrior. You had Hulk Hogan in it. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic. Hasn't Jimmy Dunn been playing right back for QPR? Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Darrell O'Connor, the scenes if Job declares for us via Rep Tracker. Oh, surely that's an exclusive if he does.
No, I'll have to give Mark Bellingham a text message on Twitter.
I think so. Mark Curran, Darrell O'Connor getting a Fabrizio Romano. Look at you, eh? Aidan Corbett, what are the current long-term left-back options? Adaramola and Rockland. Am I saying that right?
Rockland,
is it? Rowan, sorry. Rowan. It's my eyes. Manning is 28 now. Anyone else? We need someone to grab that jersey for the next 5 to 10 years. I think Adamola, from what I've seen of him, he was at Crystal Palace, and I've seen him for the under-21s. And he's stylish. I do like him. But that's at youth football, so he needs to obviously step it up to the next level. That's why we need Kirkin, really, isn't it? Because he is the only... if we don't have Kirkin, we're going to be missing a generation of a left back, aren't we?
In terms of Irish left backs, well, if you want to call them, people wouldn't consider him Irish, but if you would consider Irish right left backs, he's probably the best of that between 2000s and 2004, I would say. Like, it's the position like Teo Daramola hasn't really kicked. He's on loan at Stockport this season, and he was in Belgium the last 6 months of last year in the top tier of Belgium, and he done well, but then he went to Stockport this year, and he hasn't seemed to really kick on there so far for whatever reason. So it's a bit of annoyance there because I rate him highly, and I think he's one that long-term could be our left back. Sean Rowan has done very well. He was brilliant for the 21s, and I think next season we'll see him playing the championship, which will put him right in the picture to hopefully get a call up if he can keep developing at the rate he's doing. So there's lads in the underage teams that are all very good as well, but we've had a lot of lads that are good underage, and for some reason you think fullback would be a position we produce players in because it's all about really. If you look at Northern Ireland, they've got Trey Hume and they've got Conor Bradley and they've got Terry Devlin now, who hopefully we might see play for Ireland. But I do think it's strange that we haven't got a left back that's of proper high standard.
It does happen. Remember, England didn't have a left winger for years. The two, if they had had a Damien Duff at that time, they would have been an incredible side. It was the only weak spot they had. Probably Sven-Goran Eriksson probably would have played him as a left back or centre midfielder. But anyway, Darrell O'Connor, how you doing, Darrell? Good man yourself. Off topic, but more teams have dropped Kistori in the past few weeks, including them Orange Tramps Rangers. Could we be so lucky anytime soon to get Umro back, or even better, Adidas? I can answer that one, Darrell. I would never say never, but from what I understand, no. Look, I get it. I'll be honest here, lads. I think the story's shit. The quality's awful. Mate of mine in Ireland bought, I'm sure he's watching. How are you doing? He bought a top in Ireland. It took something like the guts of 2 weeks to get the top. It was stuck in Amsterdam because that's where all the shipping is done. You saw the stuff there, that was poor. I bought the black short. It's poor. It's like a top you get out of Carroll's in 1998. They got bits missing. There's badges falling off. There's, all this. You never see that any other short. I've never seen that before where the badge falls off constantly. Leinster had the issue as well where shirts had no badges on it. But with all of that, and I get it, it's dreadful, because Story offered a ridiculous amount of money to the FAI for a contract. And at the end of the day, the FAI are in a perilous financial position. And look, it's not the fault of the current administration. That's what they founded in. And let's be honest, if they were to turn down a huge money deal to go with someone like an Adidas or an Umbro, they would be battered by the government over it. They would. I hear you guys. It's dreadful. But I also understand why the FAI took the money as well. And that's it. I don't think I can say any. I can't really say any more than that, Conor, can I? No. Kind of like, no. Darrell O'Connor, in the wise words of an old viewer, away to Jesus with a story. Where is he, by the way? Hope he's well. Actually, he's in Florida. Yeah, no, but I get it. I totally get it. But they got a ridiculous offer. It was a huge sum of money for what it is. So the FAI had to take it. So I think we're in for the long haul. Kevin O, have a nice Christmas, lads. Great year for the podcast. Very much, Kevin O. Thank you very much. We came live from Athens, Finland, under the Northern Lights, Wembley Stadium, Conor. We were also live in Dublin several times. Portugal. It's been a good year. Ed M, community games at Malsony Memories. Yeah. No, lost on him, Ed. Lost on Darrell. Darrell O'Connor, Mosney, before my time, but I've heard of it. It was great. It was great, Mosney. It was in County Meath, I think. Conor Muldoon, what happens if England flop in the qualifiers and we don't get in as hosts? Conor?
They won't flop. It's England. They just get an easy group no matter what, like, because they're top seeds. But I'm sure we'll be qualified. Don't worry. We'll qualify either way. We'll finish top. We'll finish first in our group.
Fair enough. I'm trying to find an answer to a question that's coming up, but we'll give it a second. We're going to take a little break there. Just a reminder, folks. Christmas Eve, we have in its entirety, well, part one of Lansdowne Legends. Here we go. Where was it? Lansdowne Legends there. It's only available on the YouTube channel. Christmas Eve at noon. Myself and Martin chatting away to Alan Kelly, Clinton Morrison, and Ian Hart. It is great crack. It is great fun. It's the audio. We only have the audio. It's in crystal clear quality. It is... Yeah, it's a soundboard recording, and it's some brilliant stories. Part 2 will be New Year's Day, but a little early Christmas present for the Royal Faithful. It is only on YouTube. Midday. Get on it. We shared one story about Ian Hart on Roy Keane. Here's another brilliant story. It's about 2 minutes long on Alan Kelly on the first time he met Jack Charlton. It was half-time. Ireland are 2-0 down to England in a youth game at Ellen Road. Liam Tuohy's the manager. Jack Charlton's in attendance. Have a listen.
Yeah, I got called up for the under-18s. This is before Jack Charlton. This is in the times of Liam Tuohy was the manager of the under-18s. Brian Kerr was his assistant manager. Noel O'Reilly was his coach. So 3 really famous Irish personalities, managers and coaches. And one of the games in 1986, we were playing England. Obviously, we were playing them on Sunday as well. We were playing England under-18s at Leeds. Jack Charlton had just been announced as the Irish manager. So Liam Tuohy liked his football, a lot like today, play out from the back, keep possession, forge an opportunity, try and get a chance on goal by keeping possession. We were 2-0 down at half-time, and it was the fullback's fault. Not looking at you, Ian. And next minute, half-time, this foot comes through the door at Ellen Road. The door flies open, hits me on the shoulder. I flew into the centre of the dressing room, and in marches Jack Charlton. And he tore a strip off all of us. Under-18s, seniors alike, it did not matter. And he turned round to me, he went, you lanky streak of piss. He went, what I know about you is you can kick it from one end of the pitch to the other. I suggest you do that in the second half, and that is not a request. Okay, Jack. But we finished losing 2-0. Unfortunately, Liam Tuohy resigned as under-18 manager, and so did Brian and so did Noel, and it sort of brought an end to that era and their involvement in the underage age groups for Ireland, which they were fantastic as. But in terms of an introduction to Jack, and it's something he never forgot throughout my time with him. He always remembered that first, and he said to me, he said, I actually put my foot through the door, and he did it because Leeds was his home. You know, he had 750 games, and he did not want to be embarrassed at his home, as he saw as his spiritual home.
So more stories, including a fantastic story in Iran, actually, where the lads got to a fight with the locals. And, of course, that will all be on Christmas Eve on the YouTube channel, 12 p.m. Christmas Eve. There you go. Lansdowne Legends Part 1. Part 2 on New Year's Day. Right, let's get on with the comments. We've got a few more here, and then we're going to wrap it up. Mark Curran, Rolling Stone's most positive comment is about a player who isn't even eligible for us. It sums it up, really. He's gone quiet. Graham Lee, GTA. Oh, my God. I had Here's a funny one. Yet again, going to go right over your head, Conor. Came out in 97. The PlayStation version of GTA came out. It was on a PC for a while. And my brother and I were having breakfast with my granddad. BBC News on. Why not? That's what old people do. And it was this game they're trying to get banned where you could set Gandhi on fire, right? Which was the quote. But that's, remember little Ungo Bongo lads? That's them, the Hare Krishnas. And we thought, we got to get this. Fucking hell, we got to get this. I was 13 at the time. My brother was 17. And he went to Virgin Megastore in Aston Key, which is now Sainsbury's and a gym, I think. And yeah, he had it under the counter. Brother went in, got it. I was still in bed because I was a lazy bastard. And he came up and he had it. Grand Theft Auto. No one else could get it. No one else could get it. It was brilliant. And we had people knocking down the door every day. You know, I'll swap you 5 games for no. Don't want to know. Brilliant, brilliant fun. You haven't got a clue, Conor. You haven't got a clue.
GTA 5 is a great game.
It is. Did you complete that?
No, I just played online.
I
I'm
completed.
a real man.
What do you mean, real man? I completed GTA 5. Yeah.
Story mode. Weirdo.
Yeah. Did the whole. I was actually a funny story, right? I was playing it online, and this guy kept. You know, when you do the whole thing where you go online, you can. Is it passive mode? Where you can't kill anybody, no one can kill you, right? So I literally would switch on I went into the zone, and this guy, I don't know who he was, just kept attacking me, kept killing me every time. I come back, 2 seconds later, bang, grenade, bang, rocket launcher, bang, a car. He just kept picking at me. It's like, right, I'm fucking had enough of this guy. He got me about 20 times. So I went in passive mode straight away, and I thought, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him once. And I went in passive mode, and he was trying to get me and whatever. And no. I'll tell you what happened was I dodged him, and he missed. And I remember I had a rocket launcher, and I just got him with this rocket launcher. Bang! And I took him out of it. And I went straight into passive mode. And he went fucking mental. He was firing everything at me, and he couldn't touch me. He was brilliant. He got me about 50 times. I got him once. And that meant more. Anyway, enough of computer games. Dean Flood, think of Kirkin and Adamola. Don't work out. Think Will Ferry could at least do a decent job. He's at Dundee United at the moment. He is back from suspension. They got a clean sheet tonight. Today against Celtic.
Really well. He's playing more as a wing back because he used to be a winger mainly when he came through at Southampton. But he's actually doing really, really well at Dundee United. So it's interesting because they seem to be. If you look at Dundee United socials, they seem to be talking him up a lot. I think they're trying to get him an Ireland call-up through social media. So he is doing really well. And I'd imagine he won't be at Dundee after next summer. So it'll be interesting where he goes from there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he needs to get out of Dundee United, to be honest. Baylor, was Vata singing rebel songs or something? Why are you guys so sure that he will stay committed?
That's for me to know and you to find out, Baylor.
It is. He told us. He told us, yeah. Now, we're quite sure. We're quite sure. If you see me in the street in London, because I won't be in Dublin until March, I'll tell you. But relax. Don't worry about it. We know. Darla Connor, FIFA 2000 on PS1, LMA Manager games before Football Manager. A lot of nostalgia there. Oh my God, yeah. The original FIFA was great. World Cup, Road to World Cup 98. brilliant. Best one on the PlayStation 1. And Metal Gear Solid, the box. Who remembers the box? Used to go to the toilets and kill the soldiers in the box. Connor's like, what are we talking about here? LMA Manager. Oh my God, what a game. Bring back LMA Manager. I still have it on the Xbox somewhere. And it's funny, I try modern day tactics on it and I get battered every week because you have to play like 4-4-2 with it. Isn't Ahmad eligible for Ireland? Says Kai Watkins. I think he's been a little bit tongue in cheek there, is he?
Yeah.
John Mucky and Ahmad eligible. Really, first I've heard. No, I
don't fall for that.
Yeah, Guy Watkins. When's the 4-4-2 with Matt Doherty captain coming around? Maybe it's last game when you retire him. That's why loved the big man. Always. That's why I loved the big man. Always 4-4-2, and an effing goalkeeper. Yeah, Jack Charlton. Brilliant story. That loads of stories like that, by the way, about Jack. The Liechtenstein game. The 0-0 draw. Alan Kelly was in the dressing room. He played actually. He stopped it from being a 1-0 loss against Liechtenstein in Liechtenstein, and also the game against the Dutch. Jack's last game, the Euro 2000 playoff. It's all in there. And of course, Connor, you heard it. Saipan. There's a lot of stuff about Saipan that has not been public knowledge either. So, Lansdowne Legends, Christmas Eve. Although the Saipan bit is in the second bar, but so many great stories. Darrell O'Connor, GTA 3 on PS2, my first GTA. Not going to lie, I used to spam the cheats out of it. Jesus. Baylor, happy Ditsy December, everyone. Good night, good man, Baylor. Thank you very much as always. Aidan Corbett, would you call up Imaku and Vata in March? I think a front three with them would be a real dynamic aspect. Out wide.
Yeah, I think Rocco has a great chance of getting called up when you're playing every week in the championship, and especially in a position that we're struggling on the left. I think there's a great chance we'll see Rocco Vata in the March squad. So yeah, I don't know about Imaku yet because yesterday was his first start in a good while. Although he done well, it needs to be more probably consistent and to see him play more regularly. But if he's playing every week, yeah, definitely.
Mark Curran, Batman couldn't even get me to admit I've been in passive mode on GTA, Dave. The respect for you has dropped to my end. I don't play. No, that was just online. This guy it was to wind them up. It worked. Come on, Mark. It worked. I stepped out of the side, got him once, went into passive mode, and he couldn't touch me. And he tried for about 5 minutes. I had cars launching at me. Now it was brilliant. Michael, cheers, lads, for answering. No problem, Michael. I'm not sure what that question was. And Kai Watkins, did he got a better legacy than O'Dowd Connor? I mean, yeah, absolutely. Obviously.
Has O'Dowd got 8 man of the matches for Ireland? Has O'Dowd even played 1 minute in the Premier League? No, Didsy has.
Did he smashed? He completed the Premier League, actually. And then when, he helped out the Minions down in lower league football. Dean Flood has a question for you, Connor. How have you not beaten GTA 5 story mode, Connor?
Because I'm not a weirdo. I don't play offline. I play online like a real man.
Like a real man.
I'd rather do all the heists than do the story mode.
I love the story mode. Love the story mode. Right, and I've loved this, guys. Thank you so much. Sorry for a bit of an error strewn. Lansdowne, but that's part of the charm, I have been told. We will be back. Will we be back before the new year? I think we will. I think we're back on the 29th, aren't we?
I don't know. You tell me.
You tell me.
You're the man with the plan.
Steve Staunton. No. All right, Stan. Carry on. You're going to be calling me the gaffer. You're going to be saying you're the gaffer next. But yeah, basically, we should be back next week for a live. We will have Lansdowne Legends. That will be released on, it's a YouTube only, Christmas Eve. Trust me, guys, you're going to love it. Loads of stories in there. Alan Kelly was brilliant. What a lovely, lovely fella he is. The stories. Mark, Dave, want to know your GTA Online, KD, next time you're live. I haven't been live in years, to be fair. I don't play computer games anymore. And Michael, great job, lads. Happy Christmas. Thank you, Michael. Happy Christmas to you as well. Mark, I don't play games anymore. I really don't. Haven't got time between Raw, the podcast, the page, work, real life, travel. I did not have the time. I retired after the Batman trilogy, the Arkham trilogy. We completed those. I went, right, that's it. I can't top this. I think Conor was on playing fucking online Batman or whatever he was doing. But anyway, right, before we go, Lansdowne Legends Part 1 available Christmas Eve from 12 o'clock. Part 2 will be New Year's Day. A lovely New Year's present for you guys. We should be back during the week with an episode. You know how it is. Normally have one by around Wednesday. Or if something big happens, and knowing our luck, the second I hit end stream, there'll be massive football news and we'll have to do another one. And if not, we'll have to stream on the 29th. Okay, we are out of here. I'm David Dunn. He is Conor McAvoy. This is Lansdowne Roar. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Head over to lansdowneroar.ie. Head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. And if you haven't, please head over to Rep Tracker. Conor's page. He's doing God's work for the current and future boys and girls in green. This is Lansdowne Roar. It's a Sunday night. If I don't see you before, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year to you. Come on, you boys in green. Good night. And God bless.